this. All right, so we're going to go and see what Glenn Beck has to say about the paper. Let's see. This. All right, y'all ready? Let's do some investigating. Let's see what they say. Why not? Why not? Right.
Hear the story. This is one of the biggest stories. I think it is the biggest scandal of my lifetime, maybe in the last 100 years. It is monstrous what Steve Baker is going to report on, and we're going to give you a little bit of background. I can tell you this: there is a major development in the January 6th pipe bomber investigation. Blaze News has the exclusive because it is Steve's reporting that has brought this to attention. And unfortunately, its lead suspect is at the highest levels of government. It is.
And did I watch that correctly? I'm watching the chat too that they arrested this Steve Baker guy. Did I catch that during Pam's show?
A massive.
I was in the process of pulling this up, but I swear I felt like he played a clip of it guy being arrested.
Massive scandal. And Steve joins me now. Hello, Steve.
Hey, Glenn. Good morning.
So the reason why we're not breaking it today is because, well, first, how long have you been working on this story?
I've been pulling the threads on this for exactly 4 years. But I finally pulled the correct thread exactly 2 weeks ago today.
I have to tell you, if anybody ever wondered why they made such a big deal out of arresting Steve, this is why. Because you were pulling at these threads the whole time, and you were relentless on this. And Steve, when you were working on another story, right? And
Yes.
just dots started to appear, and you were like, how did this come to you?
Well, the genesis of this, let's be honest, goes back to much of my work into examining the various players at Capitol Police. Capitol Police seem to have a much oversized participation in how January 6th developed. And when I say that, I'm not talking about the frontline officers. You know, many of those frontline officers have become some of our most trusted sources. And by the way, they love the Blaze. They love our coverage. Just this past January 6th, I was there covering the certification of the election. Think about the irony of that. And I was there in the Capitol. I had 3 different officers, 2 plainclothes and 1 uniformed officer, stop me in the hallways of the Capitol building to whisper to me and say, "We love your work."
I have to tell you, because you're rooting out the bad guys. You know, all of the officers are not bad. There's a few. And your story that came out, I think yesterday, about the tear gas and the devices that were shot into the faces and heads of the protesters. Those guys who did this, they knew exactly what they were doing, and they're on tape. That helps the average officer because you can now go, it was them.
That's right. Look, Glenn, we have examined this particular story that we released yesterday. We've been looking at this for years. We've done updates, but finally, Joe Hanneman and myself, what we did is
Yeah, rock and roll. That's why I paused when I said, to me, that person walked like a female. But again, we're in the year 2025. There are plenty of men walking around thinking they're women, and
started drilling down into identifying who these officers were once we knew that they were taking deliberately criminally negligent shots. These are training officers in use of less than lethal munitions, weapons, launchers, whatever they want to call them. And what we discovered by going straight to the manufacturers, by going straight to the people that certify the training officers, who train the training officers, is that they are told, instructed, it's printed on the sides of those weapons. You cannot aim them at people's heads, faces, necks, their groins, their kidneys. They can be deadly if you do so. And at the range that these training officers were firing these weapons in the first 10 minutes of the riot, these were deliberate shots. And one of our closest sources, a special operations guy from the Army, retired, very familiar with these devices, said that if they are training officers, they have uttered these words to their classes before. Oh, by the way, if you want to start a riot, shoot them in the head.
Yeah. Remember the guy in that video, what was it, Red State or whatever, that produced all those clips from January 6th, where that they were blasting off into the crowd that was standing in the grass, and that guy had a projectile embedded in his cheek?
Okay, so you were working on that story, and I don't want to get into what you found, but it's in that story that people will see. That's why I encourage them to read this story, because that story is connected to the next one. So when you started to find the individual, you were buttoned up, you had video and everything else, and then you brought it to the government.
Yeah, for our next story, the follow up to this one, I did put some breadcrumbs in this story on purpose. But what we discovered was a character that high degree of probability is involved in the biggest scandal, as you mentioned earlier, not just of January 6th, but possibly our government's history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's at the highest levels. And you are going to name names. I don't even know what I can ask you. Let me
just tell you this. When I stumbled on what I stumbled on, and because as I said, I've been pulling these threads for years, and I pulled one last Wednesday, 2 weeks ago today, rather. And when I pulled this thread, I was so shocked by what I saw. I immediately took it to a source in one of the most important, highest level investigative federal agencies in the country. I immediately took it to our sources there, and I said, you have to see this. After they looked at it for about 2 hours, the response that I got back was, holy F. And then the follow-up response was, she's one of us.
And when you find out the position, I mean, this is going to lead, it's not just this one person. This now will implicate so many people at the highest levels that had to have known because of what happened after January 6th. I mean, it's
That's why I'm telling you, on those earlier videos, if y'all have them, that would be something else good to go through, where I swear that she's walking by and it looks like throws her hand up at the cop, like waving at him.
I mean, how big does this net get?
I don't know, but I will tell you there's a reason why. Look, there's a $500,000 reward on that, and there's a reason why I didn't take it to the people offering, or the agency or the bureau offering the reward. It's because
come up missing?
We believe that they were actively engaged in the cover-up. There's no look, Glenn. I don't have, as a investigative journalist for the Blaze, I have.
I mean, how many FBI agents were on the ground whenever they testified from the Senate? They were like, "Oh no, we can't tell you, divulge that information. There wasn't any." I mean, how many answers did we get? How many was there? What was it? 226, 246.
No subpoena power. I don't.
Nancy Pelosi would not allow the National Guard to show up. Even Trump said that they should be staged.
Have the
there's nothing to see here.
Ability to do
276, maybe
an $11 billion a year Bureau of Investigation has. I don't have the resources. I don't have the time. And Yet I discovered this and they didn't after 5 years of investigation. I don't believe that.
I know. I don't either. I know who you brought it to, too, and right move. Exactly the right move on that one.
And that's what I tell people, too, like the battle from within, like Trump's book, The Art of the Deal, where he says in there explicitly about keeping your enemies close. You never tell them like the cards you're going to play. You always keep them guessing. You can watch him do it actively with the media. He can move what media covers. He knows this.
So today there's another briefing because this apparently just has to be done right because of national security, I'm gathering. Is that right?
That's correct.
That's kind of what's happening now.
Yeah.
And so they've got to take care of things they've got to take care of. And when that's taken care of, then the story will be released. And I think it's going to be shocking. I'm interested to see how the left, how the Democrats, how the mainstream media dismiss this one. Because, again, it is, if it's true, how confident, what's your confidence level in this story?
I can give you forensic.
I'll tell you how. They say, look, see, it was a member of it was a Trump supporter. They were targeting Kamala. They were trying to take out Kamala because they knew she was at the, like, you know what's going to happen.
Estimates. I will tell you that from gate analysis, that's the analysis of the hoodied bomber on the evening of November 5th, compared to the gate analysis of this individual in private life and at work, that the actual software hit at a 94% accuracy. Then human analysis from the experts in intelligence is much higher. They've looked at it and went, my God, that's it. You've got it. And put things in motion as a result of that. You can tell I'm dancing around a lot right now.
I know. Well, we'll hopefully talk to you about it.
So what's your BAOC?
Yeah, I'll say this, Glenn, and kind of in closing here, is that it's a high degree of certitude coming from some of the top people in our.
Wait a minute. Bearded Fedora said, while Pelosi was at podium listening to AZ challenge, she received or sent a text. The next shot, she's gone and doors open to the Capitol. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I think we all know that this was a setup, a stage. Maybe that's another thing we could dig up. I don't even know how to find it, where, she had cameras following her around and she's like explicitly talking about, oh, she's going to take him down or whatever. They all had these, they tried to take him down with the Russiagate stuff, and he was in bed with Putin, and he was a traitor and a treasonist. And we all lived through it. They targeted his supporters. All of us in the very beginning, where we lost our accounts, were banned off platforms, we couldn't get our voices out. They did everything.
Our intelligence.
Think they're above somebody coming up missing? There's a reason why Hillary has a list.
Community, okay? And they have already.
And what happened with Seth Rich?
Started making moves related to that. There's also a political aspect to this too, because as you know, there's some interagency. Things going on.
Has the president been briefed yet? Do you know?
I can tell you that my meeting.
The same people that can turn off cameras and put guardsmen to sleep, in a federal prison, the most secure federal prison supposed to be,
Meeting with a top presidential advisor on Monday is that they're taking this to the president's chief of staff to arrange a briefing there as well.
Well, there's going to be a lot of activity in Washington today, and hopefully we'll be able to make that announcement and release this news. This is all the president's men. This is as big as anything. There, in a world not gone mad, this would be a best-selling book and a major blockbuster movie, because it's going to be when when it all comes out, this is going to involve everybody. I mean, this is really bad.
That's kind of
really,
strange.
really bad. Your
head would immediately go to this is going to be a blockbuster movie. I don't care about the movie. I just want the truth. I want people to go to jail.
Yeah. Steve, good job. Thank you.
Glenn, thank you.
You bet. Steve Baker, he's an investigative journalist. You know, when
like what? Did that tell us anything? No.
Why? I have a theory behind it. I think that the reason why that the frame reduction has happened is that defeats gait recognition software. And what do I mean by that?
Listen to this one. Hold on.
Ether. For heaven's sake, FBI RNC pipe bomb suspect as it renewed its efforts and also laid down that $500,000 reward for information leading to that arrest. A guest we had on the show last week says that $500 is never going to be spent. This is the same video, by the way, from earlier in the year, but then they slapped another 2 minutes at the end of that footage to show you. Our next guest is one of the best journalists at Blaze Media, and he's been covering this. He just posted.
Let's just pretend the cell phone data was corrupted / deleted, and the identifying data from the many times, quote, they used, quote, their phone during that stroll was lost into the ether. For heaven's sakes, that the FBI released the entire 17 to 18 hours from these two cameras. What are you hiding? Like, see, even the way this person sits, I feel like that's a woman.
Posted this last week when they pushed this out. He said, let's pretend the cell phone data was corrupted and deleted, and the identifying data from the many times they used their phone during that stroll was lost into the ether. For heaven's sake, FBI, release the entire 17 to 18 hours from these two cameras. What are you hiding? He's been covering this deeply, and Steve is back on the show.
They hid everything. But look what it took just to get the shamans, I hate calling them it since whatever, from January 6th, that stuff released when Tucker finally got a hold of it. And I always wonder, like, release all of that, where it was exposed that the cops were leading him around trying to open doors for him. But the media had made it out like he was a crazy person running around like a lunatic, and he's being escorted around the building. There's a reason why they're hiding all of it.
Steve, welcome back to Redacted. Great to see you.
Hey, Clayton, it's good to see you as well.
So since that video was published or republished.
And I ain't going to lie too. And like I told you, I'll call it balls and strikes when I see them. Like I'm looking at Trump in there with Cash and Pam and even Tulsi in there. Why aren't they releasing it?
With that additional 2 minutes added on to it, what stood out to you in your
I just don't get it.
I mean, it seems like you
maybe there's a reason. I mean, maybe they're going to charge someone and they're keeping it for some kind of charge or the trial or whatever. But like, where are we at now? It's 2025. Release the stuff.
A lot of questions for the FBI.
The most important thing that stood out was why won't they go ahead and release to us, at the very least, the unaltered video? I mean, because we're talking about frame reduction on these videos. We proved that has happened. This has been manipulated at the lab by somebody. We don't know who. We don't know why. I have a theory behind it. I think that the reason why that the frame reduction has happened is that defeats gait recognition software. And what do I mean by that?
Why are you saying give them 2 weeks? What does 2 weeks mean? You'll have to enlighten me.
Well, we've heard of facial recognition, right? Well, gait recognition software is actually more accurate than facial recognition. Not only does it provide a much clearer, we'll say, fingerprint of what an individual walks like than does facial recognition, but it's also more reliable at greater distances. Whereas, somebody gets 50, 100 yards, 200 yards away from you and from the camera, then facial recognition is not likely to work at all. But gait recognition, in other words, how somebody moves, how they walk, how they carry themselves, is a reliable to video, almost like stop action, photography. It has been the only thing that's released, as I'm afraid that that's what they're trying to obscure. And the other thing, and this is the most confounding part, Clayton, is the fact that they refuse.
Still, they tippy toe like that too. like this could all just be stuff shoved in their pockets as well. Like, what are they tippy toe right there looking for?
Choose to, for some reason, release to us the entire 17 or 18 hours of that DNC, those two cameras. So just like I posted in that one X post right there, the side by side of the two cameras, those are
Oh,
not
I get it. It's been 2 years wait for many things. Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it.
the Capitol
But there
Police.
is a side of me that understands the frustration. There is the other side of me that understands. Look how long it took them to corrupt our country and the government and corrupt all these agencies, how long it took them to get people in positions that never change, even though the presidency changes. That means nothing. You've got these career people in these positions that some have been in there 10, 20 years. When Trump goes out and Biden comes in, they're still there. When Trump goes out, whoever comes in, they're still there. And that's what they've seeded inside of the government, quote, the deep state, the swamp, or what. So I understand, like, you have to be strategic in the way that you're going to try and expose all this, right? So again, and we're not privy to most of that, I wouldn't think. And I mean, it can't. It's a job, to say the least.
United States Capitol Police CCTV video cameras. Those two cameras are on the Democratic National Committee headquarters building themselves. And for some reason, they have never released to the public or to anyone else for that matter that we're aware of that entire period from the time that alleged pipe bomber placed the bomb there that night around between, he was walking around between 7:30 and 8 o'clock from whenever he or she allegedly placed that bomb.
And see that, like, the back and forth, walk this way, then back this way, then back this way, like they're waiting on somebody or wait for a signal or wait. I mean, I would assume if you're going to do something like this, that you would have lookouts. You would know where it's weird. It's like, I don't know.
Is then there were other things that were happening. We believe that that bomb was picked up and retrieved at 4:40 in the morning. We also know that the Secret Service had their human sweep of the building that morning because then Vice President-elect Kamala Harris was scheduled to be there and arrive at 11:30 that morning. And so they had human resources. We have, from a long-range traffic camera, we can see between 8 and 9 blurry Secret Service members doing a sweep of that exact area that you're looking at right now. We can see that.
Yeah, the difference is, yeah,
from a very, very long-range, low-resolution camera. We can see they're doing the sweeps at that time at 8:30 in the morning. We know that there were at least two bomb squad or bomb dog teams that sniffed out the area later that morning before Kamala Harris's arrival, and they all missed it. And I'm going to tell you,
that makes me feel like if the dogs missed it, I'm sorry, either they're really poorly trained dogs or there was nothing in it. It was a prop. It was a prop to either cause panic or whatever.
And you see, even from this video, that
you're talking about not just one dog. You just said two dogs.
FBI put out last week. When you see where they placed the bomb, it is absolutely 100% impossible that the human suite missed that target.
Right.
They could not have missed it. That means that bomb was not there in the morning.
Who wants to tell him? Anybody want to tell him about the incompetence issue? These people are too fat and lazy to bend over and look under something. They do good to push back a limb.
And then again, we also believe that it was put back there, and it was put back just sometime, either minutes before.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think that could be a possibility, Ro. That's what I mean by, like, there wasn't anything actually in it to alert the dog. It was just a prop. But again, I don't look at what we're going. I don't know, who knows.
The moment that the plainclothes Capitol Police counter surveillance.
But again, if you look at it, like I told Pam, if y'all didn't hear, it was a kitchen timer on top of it. That the kitchen timers only go for 60 minutes, right? But then we're told that it's not supposed to detonate we were told in the early parts of this, supposed to detonate in the morning when a lot of people around or whatever. You can't. The thing was only 60 minutes on it. They had 60 minutes, even if they set it all the way down to the furthest part. And who makes a bomb like that to go after these centers, these I don't know, in DC is going to build it out of a kitchen timer. Some idiots on Reddit that I don't know organize on Signal. Hashtag not my presidents. I
Squad.
know.
It was two individuals
We use a
that
Pez
they came
dispenser.
by. They found the bomb, one of them did, and then walked over to the Secret Service SUV and alerted them that there was a bomb 15 feet from where they were sitting.
So you guys have heard of the bearskin hoodie, right? It's my fit that looks awesome. And right now is the best time to grab it. It feels great. West shipping, 60%. Buying some great.
Most likely thing that you're going to do is finish your sandwich for 2 minutes.
What do you say?
12.
And then, of course, you know, when you find out that a bomb is 15 feet from you, the first and most likely thing that you're going to do is finish your.
Yeah, that was another thing that when they supposedly discovered it, like you saw No Panic, you saw those two SUVs sitting in the driveway. We're going all off memory now. But remember when they supposedly discovered it, it was like, la da 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 da. Oh, look, right there. Looks kind of like a pop bomb. Oh, that's interesting. Let's meander on back to the SUV. Like, what?
Sandwich for 2 minutes.
Always. Especially if it's like Jersey Mike's, you know, like
Exactly.
I paid $12 for this for a sub that's Mike's Way with vinegar on it. I'm going to sit and finish this thing, even if there is a bomb.
I'm sorry, Miss Landry said, there goes my Wi-Fi D-Line feed. I'm sorry.
Behind me. It's ridiculous. It's absurd.
We're still okay, right? Hold on, let me just check. Yeah, we're good. Okay.
And what's more absurd is the idea from your reporting, it seems like, maybe you can correct me on the record here, but it seems like the FBI's move here was to say that this was a training exercise. That was the excuse they were going to use. And
we have absolutely no proof of that. But what we have, if we have two different sources from the Washington field office who said that that was the prevailing rumor inside the WFO, is that they were going to claim that this was an ill-timed or a very poorly timed training exercise that day from or between at least one, maybe two, maybe three different agencies, and that this was a really bad day to do that, and that's why everybody was casual. They knew it was a training device, and that was the problem with that. And so that was the way that they were going to explain it away. Now, I'm going to.
That's interesting about the training.
Once again, I try to do this as often as I talk about this. I'm going to give Dan and Cash, the deputy director and the director of the FBI, I'm going to give them a little bit of grace because they are up against a lot of deep staters still involved at the FBI. In fact, they are running up against obstacles every single day. We know that from our own reporting. We know that from our own insider sources there, that they are still under a tremendous amount of obstructionism and opposition for the things that they need, the things that they're looking for, the things that they're requesting inside that bureau. And as a result of that, it's very possible that they don't even know. They themselves don't have any idea right now what the circumstances are around this bomb, because all of this was developed, this investigation, or in fact, this cover-up conspiracy was developed long before they were there. This was almost 5 years ago now. And so it's very possible that everything that we're asking for, everything that we're saying we need, particularly that 17, 18 hours from those two DNC cameras, which would answer every single question we have. If they would release that, we would know the answers to these questions. But maybe they don't exist anymore. Maybe those that footage has been destroyed, deleted, and we will never know the answer to it. And that's why they're so reliant upon this $500,000 reward and tips to identify this alleged bomber.
You know, I've spoken to people who said that there's no way that $500,000 is ever going to be spent. This is all obfuscation. When you've asked for this video footage, who have you asked? Have you been able to get anywhere with any like FOIA requests or otherwise that would have been able to make this video from this individual?
Using a cell phone that night that we've not been able to track. This was the one person using a cell phone that night that we've not been able to track. We know I've covered the January 6th trials. I've watched them track people through the building, up the stairs, down into the crypt, in through the rotunda, into Nancy Pelosi's office. They were able to track people at that time of day.
That's why they can't use it. Like what he's saying, how they track down people at January 6th are acting like this is the one cell phone we can't find. Nobody believes that.
When there were tens of thousands.
It's the same thing about the crooks. We can't get into his cell phone. We can't gain access into his cell phone. But they can seemingly hack every senator's cell phone sitting in D.C. But we don't know how to get into Kroger's cell phone.
People gathered in and around the Capitol. And with all of that bandwidth absorption and disruption, they were able to still track people's actual steps to the meter of where they were in the Capitol at a very specific time. Yet this particular individual was not tracked. Now, one thing that people don't talk about, and one thing that they don't seem to realize, is that if this person is from the intelligence community, whether it's FBI, CIA, or somebody else, that this person would then have tradecraft and would not be using a device that could be tracked. It would be a burner phone or some sort of device like that. But this person was clearly and obviously in communication with somebody, because we also know that the targets, the DNC placement of the bomb, and then the placement of the bomb, they always say the RNC, but it was actually behind the Capitol Hill Club, which is a Republican gathering place, a private club there next to the RNC. We know that those devices, that was not their originally intended placements. And that, again, brings us to the other agency possibly involved in this conspiracy, and that's the Capitol Police, because those two counter surveillance plainclothes officers of the Capitol Police, they are known to Congress, they are known to the Congressional Committee that's been investigating them for 2 years, and the names are known. And those two particular officers, when they found the bomb at 1:05 at the DNC, only moments before that, I'm talking about less than 5 minutes before that, they were at the Congressional Black Caucus Institute, where that same alleged bomber apparently attempted to place that bomb under a bush there first. And then apparently something broke off of the bomb. The bomber picked it up, and then
told you, a bunch of freaking Reddit people. Let's go on TikTok and figure out how to make a prop broke off.
Talked on the phone, and then moved it over to the DNC, placed it there. We believe that somebody retrieved it in the middle of the morning, and when they brought it back, the bomb had been fixed. And what they were looking for at the time at the Congressional Black Caucus Institute was they were looking for the two pieces that had fallen off or broken off of the bomb when it was originally placed there. And it's absolutely...
It banged against their bong too many times in the backpack.
Clayton, this is the bombshell. It's absolutely impossible for those two counter surveillance officers to have the ability to go directly to the exact bush that this individual with the hoodie on and the rare Nike shoes sat down at and originally attempted to place the bomb, and know where to go first without foreknowledge.
Yeah, it's amazing that we can.
It's a trip too. The rare Nike shoes. Like, again, you'd have to be an idiot to not, if these are the intelligence community or whatever, how would you wear? I guess it makes sense you'd wear rare shoes. That'd be really hard to find. The amount of shoe collectors that are crying.
Can swoop in, and within 33 hours, we've got a lone gunman in Charlie Kirk's assassination. The FBI all over it. We can solve all of this, but here, suddenly, we still can. But hey, $500,000 is still out there and available for anyone who can put this together. Steve Baker, who's always been stirring up a hornet's nest. I hope we get answers on this. I hope. Well, I'd love to have you back. If we get these 17 to 18 hours of footage, we can answer everything. But thanks to your incredible reporting on this and staying on this story.
And this is the article Steph dropped in the chat room that went along with it. It was a shorter link she dropped, so at 4:04, but you can go to Blaze TV and it's on the very front. She's one of us, Steve Baker's sons, Glenn Beck, with bombshell revelation. And so it will be named as soon as the relevant agencies have battened down the hatches. they finally locked in on a suspect. Suspect's imminent identification will implicate and shame at least one federal agency. Well, then he says the Capitol Police was like there where they tried to go draw, blah, blah, blah. I was so shocked by what I saw. We already heard all this. After they looked at it for about 2 hours, the response I got back was, "Holy F, she's one of us." So they know. I mean, there you go. Baker and FBI reported placing of the phone. Pulled the thread. I was so shocked. I immediately took it to a source, one of the most important, highest level investigative federal agencies in the country. So what was that? The FBI. Or Homeland Security. That's my back about confidence. I'll tell you from the gate analogy. Yeah, we started all that. All this pretty much, but yeah.
January 5th, 2021, between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m., an unidentified individual placed pipe bombs near the offices of the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee in Washington, D.C. The FBI and our partners are renewing our call for tips from the public to help us identify the suspect. A reward of up to $500,000 is available for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the individual responsible for this attempted attack. If you have any information, please call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. You can also submit tips online at tips.
Well, it says it's updated, so I guess this is a release of
FBI.gov. The FBI's estimate is the suspect's height is approximately 5'7" tall. The suspect wore a face mask, a gray hooded sweatshirt, and black gloves. They used a backpack to transport each.
And this does to me look like it's intentionally bulked up. See up here through here, it does look like, I don't know, maybe a couple shirts on or something. That looks like to me like, I don't know.
Of the devices. They were wearing distinctive Nike Air Max Speed Turf shoes, which are black and gray with the yellow Nike logo. Fewer than 25,000 of these shoes were sold between August 2018 and January 2021. The first time
in 3 years,
the suspect is seen is at approximately 7:34 p.m. at the intersection of First Street and North Carolina Avenue Southeast. The person walks southwest on North Carolina Avenue, turns north on New Jersey Avenue.
Yeah, it was cold. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like some people think they're a little bit chunky in the center, but that could be, just like layers for sure underneath. And
west on D Street.
It's their footpath too, where it's like they're obviously waiting for the clear, the go ahead,
and then south on South Capitol Street.
See, like they come down, stop right here.
This footage of the suspect on South Capitol Street shows the person setting down their backpack, which is believed to contain one of the bombs at this time. That's what makes me feel
like it's a female. I'm telling you, as a woman, how they even prop the backpack, they're ridiculous. Let's lean it up.
The person setting down their backpack.
They're supposed to have pot bombs in it, so I guess there's that too. But
which is believed to contain one of the bombs at this time.
Set it down. Are we on our phone?
The suspect appears to put on a pair of glasses and scan the area, standing on tiptoes.
Yeah, see the tiptoes, I don't know. See, that's a dude walking right there. Flonka, 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 flonka. Flonka, flonka. Come on, Pete.
Before picking up the backpack, turning around, and heading back the way they came on South Capitol Street.
See, and then
after reaching the corner of D Street, the suspect turns around again, and this time walks south all the way down South Capitol Street to a bench outside the Democratic National Committee headquarters building.
Yeah. Was it Red State that did the real good breakdown back after all this happened with all the clips? The Real Clear Politics. I can't remember who it was that did the really good, that uploaded these videos of all this, the cameras.
Here we see the suspects sit on the bench for a few minutes. They do not place the bomb at this time.
Wouldn't get away in Adidas. Shark buddy. Why would you be wearing a
The suspect then walks east on Ivy Street.
B0mb wore heels. Originally looked like socks with
turns north on New Jersey Avenue, and then pauses near the corner of D Street before retracing their steps back to the DNC bench where the first bomb is placed.
That's what makes me feel like, I mean, listen, you could once say it could be nerves, you know, you're doing something here, you could, you know, it could be, but to me, it almost is more indicative to like having a lookout or having somebody that's like, it's clear now, come on, or, you know. And all they'd have to do is have in an iPod ear piece. They don't have to have a cell phone in their ear. They just have one of them in their ears. They can be on the phone the whole time right now. Phone in their pocket, earpiece in their ear. We looked at something, or we took it, put our hand in our pocket, pulled something out. Uh-oh. Make sure our face is covered.
This footage shows the suspect sitting on the DNC bench before placing the first bomb.
Looking around. Make sure I pushed the bong over that broke off my timer on the last one. Can't have that happen again. There's something about the whole thing is so clanky. Definitely not a professional. You don't hang around with your backpack. You get it, drop it, leave. Yes. See, even like they stood up to slide over to, they would have just slid over.
Here we see the suspect place the bomb at approximately 7:54 p.m.
And look. Don't bother to try and hide it. Stick it.
From there, the person walks north on South Capitol Street.
Now we can swing the bag more freely. There's only one left. Yeah. To me, it does look like a thing of the music.
East on D Street. South on New Jersey Avenue. Northeast on North Carolina Avenue, when we lose video coverage of the suspect at approximately 8 p.m. 8 minutes later, at about 8:08 p.m., we pick the suspect back up on camera heading north on 2nd Street. The suspect walks west on C Street, enters an alley that leads to Rumsey Court, and then walks west on Rumsey Court. This footage shows the suspect pass between the RNC and the Capitol Hill Club, holding the backpack out to the side. The person continues between the RNC and the Capitol Hill Club, then continues north on 1st Street, east on C Street.
See, all that's so stupid. Like all this circling back around.
Back into the alley,
like the dumbest
toward Rumsey
thing you
Court,
could do.
back onto Rumsey Court.
Walking in circles, because that doesn't look suspicious.
They placed the second pipe bomb at approximately 8:16 p.m. The suspect then turns back onto Rumsey Court walking east until the person is last seen on camera at approximately 8:18 p.m., wearing the backpack on their shoulders. The bomb is believed to have been placed shortly before this video, based on how the suspect is carrying the backpack.
Again, that was my major problem too with all this is how do you lose sight? You want to try and convince me that there's just no more cameras? We just right here. That's the last time we see him. Again, there's no way. There's no way you're going to tell me that we don't have any more cameras out here. Like we got cameras lining this whole area right here. Because by what they're showing us, they know they walk through here. But you want to tell me that this is where we lose sight of them? You want to tell me if they pop out here, there's no cameras all through here? There's no cameras? Like, no, thank you. If they're walking this direction, it only makes sense this idiot's going to come back out the same way they've come in and gone out 2 other times. So they're going to come back out, but we don't have any camera footage of that? I find that very difficult to believe. These are the questions I have.
Wearing the backpack on their shoulders.
Because this isn't a smart
person. The bomb is believed
person.
to have been placed shortly before this video, based on how the suspect is carrying the backpack. We still believe there is someone out there who has information they may not have realized was significant until now.
See what I mean by the kitchen timer? Like it, yeah. You got an hour. Oh, this is weird to me. And then these shoes are to me the giveaway. I want to tell you something too. Yeah, okay, we're off of that. I want to show you something I'm worried about. I think music artists are going to have a very tough time. These are kind of silly, but I'm going to show them to you anyway. So I don't know if y'all remember, I hung out with Mag and them the other day, and that it was when everybody was crying about their EBT cards. And so I found this program because I was actually on the phone with my sister and one of my nephews, that we were in a group chat. They would ask me for my mom's macaroni and cheese recipe. And so I was putting it in chat, and my sister was like, "Oh, I know you know it." And then my nephew messages, "Oh, he's outside mowing, listening to Johnny Cash." So I have I found this prompt thing where, like, how Zap makes the AI songs. And so quickly on that call, I made a mowing with Cash and about macaroni and cheese. Straight up, all I entered in a prompt was like mowing a yard, listening to Johnny, thinking about mac and cheese. And this is what this thing produced.
Sun's beating down, sweat dripping from my brow, engine humming low, cutting nice and slow. Got Johnny Cash singing, Ring of Fire in my ear. Another Saturday, ain't nothing to fear. Just the smell of cut grass and the feel of the breeze and the thought of that mac and cheese. Mowing with Cash, ain't nothing better than a cold glass of sweet tea in the summer weather. Simple pleasures, yeah, that's a life for me. Just mowing the lawn and listening to Johnny C. The rows are looking sharp, stripes are looking clean. This old mower's a workhorse, a cutting machine. Thinking about that creamy, cheesy, gooey mess.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, gotta say it's the best. Belly's rumbling, sun sinking low, almost time to head inside. Put on a good show. Mowing with Cash, ain't nothing better than a cold glass of sweet tea in the summer weather. Simple pleasures, yeah, that's a life for me. Just mowing the lawn and listening to Johnny C. Sun's dipping down, painting the sky gold. Another day done, another story told. The smell of fresh cut grass fills the air. Life ain't so bad, got nothing to declare. Mowing with cash ain't nothing better than a cold glass of sweet tea in the summer weather. Simple pleasures, yeah, that's a life for me. Just mowing the lawn and listening to Johnny sing. Yeah, mowing with cash, mac and cheese on my mind. Simple pleasures, the best kind you'll find.
Okay, so that's what I did with my sister and them. Thank you, Steph, for that. She said, I guess Trump posted this, says, my fellow Americans, our movement is far from over. In fact, our fight has only just begun. President Donald J. Trump. Thank you, Steph, for doing that. Now, I'm going to show you one. That was the first one I ever did with this. Dawn, it's on this Soniva Music. Soniva, it's right here. Soniva Music. I've found it quickly on my phone, like an app thing. They'll give you like one song or two free songs, and then you have to pay for it, which I ain't going to do. But so I knew I did this the other day with my sister. And so when I was on with Mag and then we're talking about the EBT stuff, I didn't enter enough prompts, so it almost makes it sound like a pity for me. But I think it's worth showing y'all what I mean by that's with the music industry sweating. This empty card blues. So when you're running out of these people don't have money on EBTs. This AI, I literally entered something like people, upset that their EBT cards, don't have any money on them. I think that's all I entered. It's over for artists now.
Sunrise creeping, coffee's cold. Another morning, story told. Check the balance, fingers shake. Just a dream, for goodness sake. EBT, my daily bread. Now the numbers in my head. 0, 0, big round O. Where my groceries gonna go? Empty car blues, singing low and deep. Broken promises, secrets we keep. Stomach rumbling, pride takes a fall. Just trying to feed us all, standing tall. Empty car blues, echo in the street. Another hungry day we gotta meet. Little faces looking up at me. Mommy, what's for dinner? Can't you see? Tell them patience just a little while. But inside I'm losing all my smile. Used to stretch it, make it last. Now the future's fading fast. Every headline, every bow.
The crazy part is, I'm going to pause this because the roughness, the rawness in the voice. Like before, when AI songs were made, you could almost tell that they were like almost too pitch perfect. And it was like almost like a giveaway. But like listen to them now, like it sounds like this is somebody singing because they use the raspiness in the voice. And again, I made this with a couple of prompts. And now what do I say? I own this song. This is my song. It might be AI generated, but like it's a creation.
Feels like they forgot us most. Empty car blues, singing low and deep. Broken promises, secrets we keep. My stomach rumbling, pride takes a fall. Just trying to feed us all, standing tall. Empty car blues, echo in the street. Another hungry day we gotta meet.
I mean,
talk of budgets, lines and rules, while our plates are empty, playing fools. Don't they know the struggle, the silent fight, trying to make it through another night. Just a little help, a helping hand, to keep our family safe across the land.
it's crazy to me.
Empty car blues, Promises, secrets we keep. Stomach rumbling, pride takes the fall. Just trying to feed us all. Standing tall, empty courtroom, echo in the street. Another hungry day we've gotta meet. Empty card, empty heart.
Right, Powder? That's what I'm thinking. Like, what do I do? Just sit here and pay a little money to this place, make me up a whole album of AI songs, put the copyright in for it, reach out to radio stations, say play my, originals. Like, because that sounds, again, I didn't, again, I know it's kind of more leaning on the like to feel sorry for me, feed my family, my poor kids, like, because I didn't enter enough, like direct it to kind of what I wanted. But it's still, to me, that kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm saying. Like, I could have entered in more instructions, but like that, that's a song that I made out of a few prompts. That's crazy to me. Like, so you think Sony Music, RCA, all them other companies are going to pay some music artist? I guarantee you, like, you can look at it. Look at the top streamers. Like I mentioned Twitch all the time. Now it's moving over into YouTube, called B0mers. Like, looking at my character right now in Zoom, where I'm like this cartoon character looking like a daggum avatar with my mouth moving. We got to uncover my camera, but I mean, moving my head. You can pay $800 to $1,000 and have one made for you that like is a lot, moves a lot more. I'm sure y'all probably seen VTubers, but like doing that, it's like I can almost see it. They already had them at the TwitchCon where there's so many VTubers. They just had like a screen pulled up, and people were going up to literally meet a screen, whatever. Like, that's what they're going to be, music artists where they just like put a massive screen up on a stage and have some cartoon VTube thing singing to you with an AI original. It's crazy to me. I know I'm kind of went on this thing. I wanted to show y'all this too. Like, I try to I don't know. I'm in probably places of the internet most people don't go, because I told y'all psychiatry is interesting to me. I don't even know if I believe in kind of the practice. I don't believe a lot of what they say, the diagnosis and stuff. It's based on kind of pseudoscience. Even they'll admit to a lot of that stuff. But I found this guy several years ago, and I commend these people. I commend this young man for like showing kind of what like this episode was like for him. He's schizophrenic, and he decided to record himself and show people kind of what he's going through in the processes of hearing voices that are telling him like to hurt himself, or like people staring at him, looking through a screen. And why I feel like this is genuine, he got 12 million views on this video. He did not make another one for 3 more years. So he uploaded 2 experiences. Um, and this one's okay, but I think I'll show you what I mean. So this is his second one. So see, 7 years ago, 12 million views. This was his second one he uploaded.
Hey guys.
3 years ago. I just think this is interesting. Probably won't watch the whole thing, but I commend people that do this. I don't want to say too much, but I did have a conversation with Patriarski back in the day. And a lot of y'all know kind of like some of the stuff his daughter's going through. And it takes a lot of courage to do these things. So please, I'm not knocking anybody for not want people into your private business. But I was like, if she's open to it, I would think about even maybe recording some of her struggles. So if anybody else kind of faces that stuff, that they can, have something to kind of, somebody to look at how they handled it, what their challenges were, what they went through. I've watched some kids do it. When I mean kids, these are 50-year-old people, usually 60-year-old, that are uploading kind of videos of their parents struggling with dementia. And it takes a lot of bravery to do that, to open your door of your life, your personal stuff that you're going through, for the public, because you'll along with support, you'll get the criticism, you'll get the people that don't like you just because they don't like you, you'll get the people that blame you for things that's not your fault, or think you're mistreating your parent or whatever, ridicule every little like thing you do. You get your mom enough food? Why didn't you get your mom up enough to take her outside today? Like, you know what I mean? So you're opening yourself up for the hate too. But so that's why, like, these things like this, ground me when I watch enough like videos of like court hearings or whatever where schizophrenic has hurt a bunch of people or whatever. I try to remember there's other people out in the world like this that's trying to like show people kind of what it's like.
Welcome back to another video. 3 years ago, I recorded a video of me having an episode. It's my most popular episode. It's got currently like almost 6 million views in a matter of 3 years. Not bad. The problem with that video is I don't think it was educational enough, and I wanted to make this experience of me having an episode that I'm going through. I'm on the early stages of it, as usually I can feel it coming on. I just want to talk about and try to stay grounded. I think it won't be, or I don't think it'll be really a bad thing. I think it'll be a good thing with educating you guys and it being maybe even possibly therapeutic to myself, me talking about how I feel and explaining how I feel and even looking back on this video. Things like that, you know? So there'll be a lot of editing because there's probably just going to be a lot of me just sitting here, but I'll be trying my best to explain how I'm feeling and what exactly is going on. My girlfriend is here. She will be asking me questions.
You know, he kind of goes through it and he kind of introduction tells you what he's doing.
So yeah.
And he tries to talk about
that's the best way I can explain.
I'll just give you synopsis because there's other things I get to. He talks about where at one point he sees somebody staring through the window at him and he says they have no eyes and they just got a big grin on their face. Another part, you see somebody like just a head in a closet. They hear voices, like the room's distorted, but he kind of goes through it. And to his credit, at the end, he shows everybody, he does this thing at the end, which is a little scary, ain't gonna lie, where she's starting to ask him questions. In his first video, he said that he feels like somebody's in his head telling him a bunch of communists are coming after him, going to beat on the door. See that look right there on his face right here? Hey. Because she said, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. This to me is can get dangerous.
I don't like it.
He doesn't like her asking her questions. Actually, she's been with him long enough where he's like, well, we'll stop. We won't ask anymore.
I don't like it.
She's like, turn off the camera.
Do you know how?
And that's what he does. And then he comes back and tells everybody he's okay. But I commend him for doing that. You know, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, like that end part where I showed you, it kind of freaked me out with that look. Ooh, well, scare. But it is what it is. What was I going to show you? Oh, I think it was, yeah. Oh, yeah. Cold Steel posted this. I'm going to trust to just grab it. Trump Prop 50 giant scam vote under very serious review. Okay, let's see what this is. This thing's buffering. What we got going on?
Battles that could decide control of the House, but another major factor is how representation is being calculated. The census counts illegals when proportioning congressional seats, boosting the cloud of states that attract illegals and effectively rewarding sanctuary policies. Folks, that's what it's all about. Joining us now, the one, the only Dick Morris. He's also the author of The Return. Great book there. Dick, what do you think of the latest about what's going on? And then, of course, you have Barack Obama praising these Democrats.
Yeah. Well, you have to bear in mind how this started. When the Constitution was written, the South said they wanted slaves to be counted in the census and to be included in representation in Congress and with electoral votes. And the North said no way, and they agreed that they would count 3/4 of a person for a slave. Now, that's been replaced by illegal immigrants coming to the United States. And once again, the Democrats want those folks to be counted in congressional representation. And Trump says, no, if you're not a citizen, you're not here legally, you shouldn't be counted. And that's the background of the fight that's going on. I think that ultimately the Republicans are going to win that fight because of one key factor. I think the voters of California will reject the idea of abandoning the districting commission and letting the legislature set these lines. I think that the California voters have fought hard to free the reapportionment from congressional control and to vest it in the voters. And now Newsom wants to eliminate that so he can add the extra seats to retaliate against the Republicans.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I think I mentioned this earlier. Let me see, because it ties right into that. Where I told y'all before, y'all probably already seen it. I'll just be honest with you about where here. This is where Elon talked about it on Joe Rogan.
Have this the standoff is because if the hundreds of billions of dollars to create a financial incentive to have this giant magnet to attract illegals from every part of Earth to these states, if that is turned off, the illegals will leave because they're no longer being paid to come to the United States and stay here.
Wow.
And then they will lose a lot of voters. The Democratic Party will lose a lot of voters.
And they would have a very difficult job if this is kicked out of reintroducing it into a new bill.
Yes.
Especially once things start normalizing.
Yes. So, in a nutshell, the Democratic Party wants to destroy democracy by importing voters, and the Republican Party disagrees with that.
And the ruse is that if you don't accept what they're doing, then you're a threat to democracy.
Yes.
As they try to destroy democracy.
Yes.
By importing voters.
That is
and
literally what they're doing.
People to only vote for them and overwhelming the system.
Yes. And by the way, it's a strategy that, if allowed to work, would work. And in fact, has worked. California is supermajority Democrat.
Yeah.
And there's so much gerrymandering that occurs. It's crazy.
But yeah,
the reason you have this,
and again, you'll probably say, I thought this is hilarious too. As Mondami's victory party, the jumbo screen, Trump is your president. They all booed. I'm watching it again. They're like, oh, the grown look, Trump is your president. God love whoever set up this slideshow. Look at him. They're like, look at this. They're like, look at the thumb down dude right here. Peace sign right here. Oh, it's hilarious. Anyway,
standoff is because.
Oh, and then this, everybody. If y'all remember when Trump first won and the inauguration, and all these people that were never Trumpers decided they wanted to come to inauguration and start kissing his butt and stuff, everybody's losing their mind because Bill Ackman went from saying New York was in real trouble with Mondami, and then he tweeted out, "Congrats on the win. You have a big responsibility. If I can help, just let me know." And they're Bannon is what?
Folksy at Zoran K. Mamdani. Congrats on the win. Now you have a big responsibility. If I can help NYC, just let me know what I can do. You believe this? Of course you do, because you know, but I hope voters now see the scam. The rest of the holdouts, maybe, what are you, 20%?
I hope it's still there, Alan.
That aren't MAGA. See the scam. There it is. This is what Republican donors have been for decades. This is why your country has been crumbling before your eyes for decades, because your donors betray you. Your senators betray you. They do this, and then they come to you every 2 years and every 4 years, and they plead for your vote. They pretend to be you. They pretend to share your values, and they do this to you behind your back. The second they can survive.
I don't think he did it behind anybody's back. I think he put that out on his Twitter feed, but
the second they can look for crumbs, look, people like Bill Ackman and the rest of the donor class, they're happy to sit on the floor licking the crumbs of the Democrats off the floor like a dog under the table, rather than get a seat at the table because they have to fight for it. That's who they are. And you know what? They're eating well. So while you can't pay your car payment, while your children can't buy a home, while you maybe can't buy one or even afford your mortgage or pay your rent, they're eating well. Listen to the sound of them sucking on the tail of the crawfish now. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. This is why the failure of these people, and they all hate Donald Trump behind his back. You're all to blame for Donald Trump. You created the conditions. That's why he resonates, because you failed these people. And they,
I agree. People are out for themselves. A lot of it's grandstanding. They don't truly I don't think a lot of those people do support him. I think that they know he's in power, and they're all trying to be protected from the lawsuits other countries are handing down. They know he's a businessman, so they all want these data centers to be popping up for all this AI stuff they want to get behind and invest in. And so they want Trump to be supportive of it. This is why you've got Bill Gates immediately kind of throwing their car in reverse over climate change. Well, it's not that bad, says one of the CEOs of Microsoft that wants a data center. I mean, I don't know what could be going on. But that I have no doubt that of course that's happening as well. But on the flip side of that coin, openly saying, hey, congrats on the win. Let me know if I can help. I don't know. There is a point to say that he was against him winning, but now that he's won, maybe, loves New York. Glenn Greenwald did a thing about kind of the flip-floppiness of like Bill Ackman. But I think that you can say that about a lot of people in this country where they say what they need to say to, win favor. They, ass kissing works sometimes. Like this is advantage war room I tag this one again. I'm gonna I forget to undo these bookmarks and I'm like, my God,
if the hundreds
bookmarks. But so and then meanwhile the Kansas GOP bails on redistricting. Why is that still playing? Shut up. Breaking, it's 11 o'clock and last polls of the night closed in California about the Prop 50. We all know that. But thankfully, hopefully, again, because how many illegals do you think voted in California? Because we know they don't have any laws against it. Pam played that undercover video where they were like, here, trying to hand them their license. They wouldn't take it. Like, I don't know. See, and then everybody's going off about this. Most predictable post of all time. What suddenly it's not an emergency? You and the billionaires really stepped in it. Like they are mad at Bill Ackman. Like look, laughs out loud. You can see the scam yet, folks. Like, and then this was cute. Listen, I ain't play something cute. These boys, like just being boys, actually outside playing.
Justin, I'm Joe. I'm Isaac, and we're the
I love
Adventure
it.
Boys. And today we're riding longboards. We're gonna go to Dairy Queen and eat, and then we're gonna go to the creek and go fishing.
Just wholesome stuff.
Isaac got a flamethrower. Me and Joe are gonna share this bacon.
Gonna split the burger.
Bacon, ranch, and cheese. And we got cheese curds.
So
We made it.
then they go out
Our
to go
spot is
fishing
like
at one
really,
of our
really
favorite
deep
little
right
spots.
now. And we're gonna go up to that spot over there and jump off a tree.
Cindy! I can literally die. I can literally die. Cindy! Oh no, Isaac's trapped. No. Oh my gosh, guys. Isaac's trapped. Oh my God. It's so deep.
There's hope. Just sweet cuteness. Love it. Oh, this is hilarious. Listen, he made decision. He's moving back from New York from Texas. This is funny.
Hi, guys. Comedian actor Tyler Fisher here, and I just made the decision. I am moving back to New York City. I've been in Texas for a year, and I have to be there for Mom Donnie. I just do. I know a lot of people will be surprised by this, but like, dude, I'm so sick of living in Texas where I don't even pay state income tax. Think about that. So I have to like find things to do with my money. Like this is my third coffee of the day. I'm going to buy a paddleboard. I'm hiking, new shoes. And it's like, I'm just done with it. I have to give up 52% of my income. I have a car, which is like, it's so toxic cis white male of me. You know what I mean? And they're charging money to take buses here. Charging money. So what do homeless people do if they want to go on there and sleep and piss and shit and stab somebody? They have to go and fundraise to get on a bus? Like, what the fuck? So I'm just going to get back there and get back to the Gays for Palestine protests. Even the bikers aren't assholes. And like, nobody has assaulted me today. I'm sitting here, literally, I got cash hanging out of my pockets. No one's called me a racist, toxic, cis white male.
He's the comedian, by the way, if y'all didn't know. Maybe I should have said that.
What am I doing here? America's to be abused and live in a tiny studio apartment and welcome illegal migrants into your space. I'm gonna have probably 10 living with me, sharing a bed, because I care. And my dating life here is amazing. Like women, they like when I take charge. They like when I lead. They're nice. They're feminine. Barf, gag me.
I prefer a woman with a shaved head, 8 cats, who hates men, the patriarchy, but still wants me to pay the bill.
And what if I get attacked right now? What am I supposed to call the racist cops? No. Mom Donnie's gonna have therapists come and talk out the problems. Hey, excuse me, why did you just shoot that guy in the face? Maybe it's a childhood fear of eye contact. Really get to the bottom of the problem, you know? I'm tired of feeling like a man because there is no gender. You know, and I'm in my Audi alone listening to my own music, but how can I deal with that? There's no stranger blasting rap or some homeless guy overdosing on fentanyl, waving his dick in my face. That's just not America. That's not the America I grew up in. Freedom is so overrated.
And in Texas, the rainbows are for kids? What? No, that's for grown men in drag with fake tits and their junk hanging out, reading softcore porn to children. Come on.
I mean, I only saw 2 penises today. One was mine, and one was my dog's. Nobody's calling me a racist cracker. What a ripoff.
I mean, who can live like this? No honking, no sirens. This is racism.
I've spent 20 years building up my career, my success. Why should I keep that? I should give it to somebody who snuck over the border. Him deserves it. Praise Allah and halak.
I mean, that was just, I just thought that was pretty freaking funny. And then your face communism is about to take a hold of New York. It starts his victory speech by quoting Eugene Debs, the founder of the Socialist Party of America. Because, I mean,
the sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said,
and listen to them all scream,
I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been...
You think they understand that socialism means basically the government controls and runs everything? Like the government is, there's no more freedom involved. They talk about how corrupt the government is. They don't trust, like the cops. Like, it is crazy to me. But they're like, yes, give them all the power though. Like, that makes sense. There's that. Oh, and then see, the saddest part is he'd never have won. We're New York full of New Yorkers. That's sad. Yeah, that's tragic. Conservatives, seriously, please leave blue states. Your life may depend on it. This was he retweeted an Andy No thing about a Trump supporter that was shot dead in the streets of Portland on October 27th around 5:36. That's late afternoon. Derek M. Rice, 39 of Portland, was killed on Northeast 125th Place. Police have released no information about the suspect or suspects who got away. Again, you think they're ever going to arrest anybody? I hope so. And keep that bookmark. I'll check into it after the show. Bro rigged his uncle's Tesla to fart every time he uses a turn signal. And men.
So we're going to go right. Take that off.
Look, he rigged it. He rigged it on his uncle. He's like, take that off.
You know what? You're a sick man. You're really sick. No, you really
It is hilarious. I'm sorry. Turn signal fart. There it is. And Dami said buses won't be free. He just said that they got people to vote for him. What a con man. Of course.
People who ask me questions about, is it possible to make buses fast and free? I say the cost would be about $700 million, which is less than Andrew Cuomo gave to Elon Musk 1 year in tax breaks of $959 million. Showing people the context that we're in and building a coalition where they may not see themselves in me, perhaps, but they may see themselves in the best and the brightest that I'll have.
They don't believe none of this stuff. They don't believe none of it. And they're freeze the rent. Yeah, we played that the other day. Yep, that's the gist of it. Let me now pull up this, see if there's any more newer stuff going on. What the heck is going on? Okay, I just hit home button. We're going to just scroll through it. We're just going to let you know I hit home. This is the died suddenly, so we know what that's about, right? All about the jab. Says TPUSA used to pray for a revival of patriotism, faith, and critical thinking amongst the next generation. Now they're silencing the very young men that Charlie fought for. What? You have college Republicans. TPUSA has censored and banned a large number of our members from their chat, citing hate speech for the student support of Tucker Carlson and dedication to free speech. We're disappointed that a TPUSA chapter has decided to censor and cancel those they agree with. See, this is what I don't like. Like, I'm literally watching that pendulum swing where I don't care if you agree with these people or not. That's not what it's about. We fought for the years at the beginning of all this when we were banned and stuff. Remember when it was Ben Shapiro and like Milo and all those people getting kicked off college campuses? And our fight was, okay, you don't have to agree with them, but they have the right to get up and say their viewpoints and say, say how they feel and all about free speech. And that's what Charlie Shirt, when he was killed, said freedom. It's all about free speech. I don't like this angle that some of the people on the right are taking of like, we don't agree with them, therefore they should be shut up, they should be silenced, they should be kicked off of platforms. This is coming from the same people that were kicked off of college campuses and built their whole channels on the fact that how wrong that is. Now I'm watching people on the right yell and call for it. Again, I don't feel like you need to agree with everybody. That's not the point. You can disagree with them all you want to, but like our group is committed to fostering a welcoming, respectful environment. We encourage diverse. Look at this. While we encourage diverse viewpoints and constructive debate, we will not tolerate hate speech, harassment, or rhetoric that promotes xenophobia, misogyny, racism, anti-Semitism, or any ideology rooted in discrimination or violence. What does that sound like that's coming straight out of? That's the same rhetoric the left used to silence people. Misogyny, xenophobia. I don't understand. I don't understand it. Town Hall. Erica explains why her and Charlie have been so private when it comes to their children. I'm fine with that. What she said about, oh, this is an hour and 30 minutes. No, thank you. Just apologize to Americans caught in the crossfire Democratic shutdown. Poor old Fetterman. Like poor old hoodie wearing, sweatpant wearing Fetterman. That's like making the most sense.
As a Democrat, the reasons why I'm very committed to keep our government open are fighting for really what's part of the core and the people that I think our party all should be protecting and fighting for, to just open this up, because it's a sad political spectacle.
You don't fight for the people you agree with. You fight for the freedoms of the people you don't. That's the whole point.
This point, and honestly,
and that's what we were all about. For the first years, we were the ones being silenced. We were the ones being censored. We were the ones being yeeted off Discord, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We were yeeted off these platforms, all in the name of like, we don't want a platform. We were called racist. We were called Nazis. We were called, we were, on one hand, what was it? Fascist. You know all of them. We were called all these names. Why? Because we supported Trump. And what did they bring up? How many? The thing on the bus and all this other stuff. Like, I just don't get it.
I'm embarrassed, and all I can do for people that now have been caught in the middle of this is just other than to apologize for it. For me, as a Democrat, the reasons why I'm very committed to keep our government open are fighting for really what's part of the core and the people that I think our party all should be protecting and fighting for, to just open this up, because it's a sad political spectacle at this point. And honestly, I'm embarrassed, and all I can do for people that now have been caught in the middle of this is just other than to apologize for it. For me, as a Democrat, the reasons why I'm very committed to keep our government open are fighting for really what's part of the core and the people that I think our party all should be protecting and fighting for, to just open this up, because it's a sad political spectacle at this point. And
poor old Fetterman. For weeks, there have been protests outside Heritage Office in D.C. Oh, I think Pam played some of this. This is what I'm talking about. Like, it just is, the president came out and spoke about it, and then they're going new Heritage foundations. It's like the demand, like either, this is what I hear. Again, it sounds like the exact same thing we went through. The work to term platforming. The saying that these people like calling them all these names because you don't agree with them about certain things. And the way that people can't see this is like, now it's like Trump is in office and we have conservatives, people like running the FBI or whatever, and now it's like the same people like, yeah, throw them in jail, yeah, kick them off the platform, yeah, now it's all good. It's like when the shoe's on the other foot. It's just amazing to watch people completely flip their ideology, forget everything they said for the last 4 years, and be like, yeah, I'm with them. Well, I hope another conservative wins after Trump. I wonder how you'll feel about whenever it's you. Well, they think that you're racist. They don't agree with what you say. And then you'll be like, well, hey, they think that you're a misogynistic. So yeet. Another Spanish communist supporter of Venezuela's narco-terrorist president Maduro is very happy that Mandani won. Oh, well, a lot of people happy Mandani won, fortunately. It's not, again, the poor folks of New York, like what he said about prisons alone and what they're already doing with non-incarcerating criminals. I'm watching this whole sector of these young people in New York that are getting behind the wheel of the car and doing this, what they call swimming in traffic, running 120 miles an hour and dodging between traffic. And the cops aren't even bothering to flip on their blue lights and chase them. And it's becoming a trend. Like the guy named License and the other one, I think his name is Squeeze, the two most popular. It's people in New York are now just like normies in New York are doing it. I love everything about this company. I don't know. It's crazy to me. You shouldn't seek elected office. All right, let me try until I got 15. Let me see if I got something in my thing here. There was one thing I thought about playing. I think I've told y'all before. I like what I found Wesley Huff when he was debating what's his name? I just drew a blank. The New Age guy, Ben Carson. I was going to play that debate for y'all at one point because it was so good. Oh, let me show you this too. This is something that if y'all ever want to, because I was trying to do a dive into the psychosis that is being caused by marijuana. Because it's like not the marijuana of the Woodstock age or whatever. This stuff's is super potent, and now they're talking about the psychosis. This Texas picture documentaries, I'm gonna warn you. I mean, it's just really gut wrenching and sad. But they go along and show you all the people. This 19-year-old that died of fentanyl. There's all the people, 24 years old, 19 years old, 23-year-old. Died of fentanyl, 21 fentanyl, but also in here you can see where now they've uploaded things where they're losing children to psychosis from cannabinoid. And I'm just talking about some of these strains that they're growing are so strong, it's alarming. But this is that Texas picture documentaries. They go over a lot of these people's stories, and again, it's gut wrenching, it's sad. Gives you a window into their lives of what it's like to try and deal with the tragedies of like losing a family member to this stuff. It's gut wrenching. It is. I could probably get through this one right here. This is one that this one channel covered it. This is why I like Wesley Huff. I do. I think when he did that, he's got a great website where he goes over things like that. But this was exposed issues with Islam and the Quran. But this dude kind of played the highlights of it. But it's still pretty good. We'll close with this.
He's not able to discern.
As a hat tip to Mondani. Lord help
between the difference between an actual historical source like, say, the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and apocryphal Christian tales that are floating around the Arabian Peninsula. Muhammad dies, and actually the Muslims who are following him have a hesitancy to write it down because Muhammad never told them to write it down.
Muslims are taught to believe that the Bible is unreliable because there are different versions of it.
When I see 10 different versions, I question it. Coming from God? How do we have 10 versions? Did God write this, or did the believers of God write it? But when I only see one version, and I can show you the chains of authenticity, then I believe in it.
Well, there's several big historic problems with this view, and in this video, Wes Huff exposes a few of them. Then at the end, I'll add one of my own that actually might be the most significant place where Islam and history depart from each other.
The Quran. After you
Oh, well, you know what? After I just said all that, let me change, because I was going to show y'all this too, but I forgot. Because I had all this stuff with Bill Ackman too. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. It happened here in Tennessee. This is what I mean.
A Facebook
This
comment
is alarming.
quoting.
I don't care who you are. This doesn't alarm you. It should alarm you. It's happening here in Tennessee.
President Trump cost a man his freedom. Part of a sheriff's new explanation was just contradicted by police. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 6. I'm Bob Mueller.
This is Nashville. This dude's been a host for Channel 2 News since I was a kid.
Larry Bushart has been in jail since September 21st. His bond is $2 million. The Perry County Sheriff's Office
You
claimed
heard that right. His bond is $2 million.
he threatened mass violence at a school. News 2's Kel
Or they said threatened mass violence at a school.
Smith reports Bushart seemed confused when police told him.
This is 38 days ago.
Hello.
Hey, can we speak with Larry again?
Lexington police are about to arrest Larry Bushart. His supporters say he is a retired law enforcement officer. He's also critical of the
It's a retired cop that does not support Trump
administration. Just on the day of his arrest, he posted dozens of memes to Facebook.
Hey, Mr. Larry.
Yes.
So, Perry County has called back again.
I think that's important. Let me do this. Like, see, here it is. Release all Epstein files. It's Thomas Massey.
To
Facebook. About that, right?
Hey, Mr. Larry.
Yes.
So,
it says received a visit. Oh, this is where he posts about being visited by the police.
Perry County has called back again, okay? And they've ended up issuing a warrant for you, okay? So you're going to have to come with us. We'll get you booked in. We'll get all this figured out. And then you'll have to take it up with them in their court, okay?
Okay.
$2 million.
We got to come in with you if you're going to go back in, though.
That's fine. Y'all can come in. We're getting carpet in the morning, so we
Okay.
moved all of this out.
In body camera video released by police to News 2, Larry and his wife do not ask many questions. They seem to know why he's getting arrested. A few hours earlier, Larry said Lexington police visited him regarding a Facebook post.
Just call me. I'll have my phone, okay? I love you. Thank y'all. And he thinks that it's just, freedom of speech, And I try to tell him, this is... Yeah, but like he was saying earlier, we kind of have nothing to do with it. I understand. And I understand. Look, it's just y'all's job. I mean, y'all have to do what... Yeah.
He said he just thought it was his freedom of speech.
But hopefully it works out for y'all. And
It's in Tennessee.
I hope so too. Yes, ma'am.
A court affidavit ties Larry's arrest
I
back.
don't know if it's like that where y'all are, but like if counties border, like the news will cover like border counties. Like I lived in Wall, Mississippi, and we got the Memphis
To
news.
Perry County Sheriff Nick Weems. In a community Facebook group, someone arrested.
Yes, ma'am.
A court affidavit ties Larry's arrest back to Perry County Sheriff Nick Weems. In a community Facebook group, someone posted about a vigil for a conservative commentator, Charlie Kirk. Larry commented, the sheriff saw it and messaged an investigator. We do not have
So he saw it and messaged an investigator.
access to the Facebook group to see Larry's comment for ourselves. But based on the quotes in the affidavit, Larry appears to have...
So here it is. Appears. We have to get over it. Donald Trump at the Perry High School mass shooting one day after the shooting. Donald Trump said
shared
it.
this
We'll show
meme
it.
from the gun safety group Everytown. It quotes President Trump saying, "We have to get over it," one day after the Perry High School mass shooting. According to the court affidavit, Larry said, "This seems relevant today."
We're going to need multiple
But he's saying using Trump's words to try and reiterate back to Charlie Kirk. Again, I was upset about Charlie Kirk. Said I cried for days over that man. Okay, it hit me hard. I think just because what Charlie represented, he was such a good Christian, and stuff. But you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to support Trump or Charlie. If you think that using that rhetoric, like flipping Trump's words around, you can disagree with it all day long. But being arrested and held in jail on a $2 million bond, let's know where they stretch it to, and it's not good.
Multiple victims down.
Everytown's meme references a shooting at Perry High School in Iowa in 2024. A 17-year-old boy killed 2 people and wounded 6 others before killing himself. President Donald Trump spoke about the shooting at a campaign event.
It's just horrible to see that happening. That's just horrible. So surprising to see it here. But we'll have to get over it. We have to move forward.
Well, we all know, Trump, what do you mean? We have to get over it and move forward. It means that, we have to be able to move on. You know what I mean? Again, and that would be harsh if after Charlie died, somebody the next day come out and says, well, it's horrible. We got to move on. I get emotions are high, but this?
The affidavit accuses Larry of threatening mass violence at school. The arresting officer told him just as the body camera video ended.
So they've twisted that into saying that, so a bunch of people called in and contorted that into saying that he threatened a school.
And just to clarify, this is what they charged him with.
Okay.
Threatening mass violence at a school.
At a school?
It's referring
He's like, at a school?
to a school. I have no idea. That's what they've called us for, and I ain't got a clue.
I played on Facebook. That's what I know you don't give a
I ain't got a clue. I just had to do what I had to do.
I've been in Facebook too.
I'm not saying you did or didn't do anything.
No, I did do, but I don't think I committed a crime.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you did or did not commit a crime.
I may have been but I'm...
That's not illegal.
He said I was being a bit of an asshole, but I don't think I committed a crime.
That was Nikel Smith reporting. The Perry County Sheriff sent a statement to News 2. It reads in part, quote, Mr. Bushart was not brought to our attention simply because of his speech, but for the public repercussions.
So read this, but for the public repercussions of that speech. So the public outcry that was mad about his meme post. So it wasn't just about, again, so he should be charged for how people feel about it?
Of that speech. We coordinated with other departments to approach Mr. Bushart and provide options to de-escalate the situation.
This is where it gets dicey. We coordinated with other departments to approach Mr. Bushart, provide options to de-escalate the situation before the arrest was made. And Channel 2 dug into it.
Before an arrest was made. Mr. Bushart declined to clarify his public messages and calm the situation that was causing multiple reasonable citizens to be in fear of their children's safety at school.
So they turned that into now trying to act like he threatened a school.
Quote. You can read the full statement at WKRN.com. Now, we asked the sheriff which agency he worked with to ask Bushart to de-escalate or clarify his post because that was not mentioned in the affidavit or body camera video. The sheriff said Lexington Police. We asked Lexington's police chief if his agency was involved with that. He said no. Bushart is due back in court in December.
So they reached out to Perry. Perry said, well, how did you try to de-escalate? They put it back on Lexington. They called Lexington to say, what involvement do you have? They said, they didn't. What? None.
In the meantime, he remains in jail on a $2 million bond.
I mean, all I can say is
yesterday,
there's going to be lawsuits galore, I feel like, after that one. Like, you can agree with his stance, you can disagree with how he feels about it or whatever, but going and arresting a man in Tennessee because of a Facebook post that seemed mean or whatever, and then putting him on a $2 million bond? Like, good God. I don't even know what to say about it. That's I'm sorry, but that's alarming to me. And I don't know. I don't know where we're going. I feel like a UK vibes. What I feel like stuff, arresting for people for their social media posts because you don't agree with what they say. Again, if he had directly threatened a school and was like, hey, well, I would get it. But that, to me, everything I've dug in, sorry, that's not it. I showed you what he posted. He posted that meme of that we got to be able to move on or get over it or whatever. You cannot like it, but arresting somebody, no way. Let me see before I got one more minute. Let's see if Trump's tweeted out anything else on his True Social, because he had been busy today 2 hours ago. Oh, there it is. I think this is what Steph was talking about. I got a minute. I don't know how long this is, but I'll share.
My fellow Americans, our movement is far from over. In fact, our fight has only just begun. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So with American pride swelling in our hearts and American courage stirring in our souls, I say these words to you tonight. We will make America great again.
That's kind of perfect. That took me right out to the end of my time. It is time for Clay and Tim to take over. And I'm sure they've got a lot of good stuff lined up for you. And thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you guys have a good rest of your Wednesday evening. Are you ready, guys? Fellers? Maybe? Maybe not? Hello? Maybe they're not ready. I can find something else to play. Hold on. Let's get stuff going.
You time it right down to the exact second before.
Listen, I try to. Listen, I'm an advocate for you guys being able to take your shows over at that minute. So I'm going to be an example. I try to like get it right on the money. You know what I mean? And then get the hell out of your way. So that's what I try to do. You know, I mean, unless you want me to hang out with you for the next couple hours, Clay. I mean, I know that secretly you just want me to be a co-host with you.
I don't know if I could take the cartoon for that long, to be honest.
Yeah, I get it. I told Pam when I came on with him, I was like, I made this daggum avatar and now I can't damn get it off. Like it triggers every time I open up my Zoom room. And so I forget to turn it off because I only get in Zoom on here. But yeah, I get it. Listen, I'm gonna pay $8,000 and I'm gonna get me a big old clay one with the Canadian flag behind me.
It'll be way cheaper than that.
Have a little mat. Oh, no, they're expensive, brother. Have me a little Tim sitting behind me, like on his work ahead sign. I'll be great. You know how they have the Wi-Fi's? He has the fish.
Oh yeah, right.
Little
yeah.
mascot. Yeah.
Fish.
Yeah. Yes, I love that. That's the smartest thing that dude did is having that little fish with his little one-liners that come in. I love it.
Yeah. No, that's great. It was a great idea.
All right, guys. I will get out of your way. You have a good night, okay?
All right, you too.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right. Bye.